Hello friends, welcome to Technopoints. In this video, we are going to learn about room migrations. So to better understand what the migrations mean, let me give an example. Let's say we have built some application with the help of room database and it went to the production. Now we have added some new features and we want to provide as an update to the existing one. And let's say in that update, we had a need to change the schema of the database. Let's say we have added a new table or rename an existing column or added a new column. This type of alteration we have made, and we cannot just provide an update to the existing devices because that will crash the application, because room doesn't know how to migrate the old database schema to the new one. We have made the alterations, but we also have to inform the room with the set of instructions about how to migrate from old database schema to the new one. And this is what the migrations we have to provide, and that is the thing we'll learn in this tutorial. This is the one of the most important topic if we are making some application with the offline database access. So migration is the one of the most important thing we have to study. So without wasting time, let's start how to do that. So before going forward with this tutorial, I am using the same project which I have created in the room database tutorial. So if you have not gone through that tutorial, then I would request you to please go through that tutorial first, so that you will get an idea what we have built and some concepts related to the room database. I have just continuing with that same tutorial. So here is the main activity. I'll go through the all the things fast fastly. Okay, so here we have created some things. We have created the product table and one database. Here is a product which we have created. That is one of the table. This is an entity. It's annotated with entity, and this is a data class product. It has these things: name, price, and date, and primary key as an ID, which will be auto generated. This thing is a product DAO. So in this product DAO, we have created three functions. Upsert product, basically it will do both of the things, insert and update. And this is the delete product, and this is a function which returns all the products. So again, the product database, this is a database file in which we have annotated this with database, and we have declared this companion object to get the instance of the database class, and we can access the DAO and insert and perform all the operations related to the which we have defined in this product DAO. And here we have also declared a type converters. Basically what we are doing is that we are here using a date format to save the date of the product in which, let's say, we have purchased the product. So here is the date, and in the tutorial I have also explained how to use the type converters for the date. So the date cannot be directly saved in the our room database, so that for that also we have provided these converters. This converts into long and then saves into database, and does the vice versa. So all these things as explained in the tutorial. So I'll just go with whatever agenda of this tutorial, that is migration. So here we will first see uh, how the things running right now before doing anything. So here is nothing visual. You will see what we can see here is we are printing the product list here as a log statement. So let me open the logcat here, and we have already said that I'll run the app again to show you. We go to the logcat, and here the product list. The product is basically here is empty because we have delay product here. Let's make this as upsert product, so that all the products will be added in the database, and again rerun. Okay, the app is restarted, and now we'll be able to see the logcat here. The last one is the latest one. Here product list. Here is the all of the 5 products which we have added here, and we are able to see here name, price, date, everything we are able to see, and the ID is auto generated by room library. So here is the list of products we are able to see here. So currently this is the behavior of the application. Now let's say we have to do some modifications here. Let's say we have to add some extra column here. we'll go to the product and we'll add a new column here, that is product description. Well, description, that will be of course of string type. And yes, but we cannot directly just run the application by adding this. If we try doing that, then it will give a crash. Let's try doing this. Okay, we also have to add it here, the description. We'll add some description dsc. Okay, we have added those here, and we'll try running again. There is no compile time error this time, but there will be runtime error. Application has been launched, but it has been crashed. And let's see the logcat. Then we can see what's the error is. And here it says that illegal state exception. Room cannot verify the data integrity. Looks like you have changed the schema but forgot to update the version number. You can simply fix this by increasing the version number, but it will still not work if we just increase the version number, because it needs the migrations in order to know how to deal with this change schema. So the first thing we have to do here is that, of course, changing the version number. So the version number is in product database here, and we can just click on version number 2. This is the first step. But and there are actually basically two types of migrations. First one is the auto migration, and second one is a manual migration. So I will teach both of these things. So let's say what we are doing here, we are here adding a new column. So we can use the auto migration feature of a room to do these things, to upload these things to the room. What we have to do is, we just have to, before changing the version, let's do one thing. I'm in the Android structure. Okay, go to build.gradle, come inside this default config, and where we are using the Kotlin annotation processor here. So kpt arguments, in this we'll provide arg block, and in this we will do, sorry, this should not be a block, this should be a braces here, and in this we'll provide room dot schema location, and we'll provide project dir slash schemas. Okay, and we'll click on sync. So the sync has been successful, and now let me explain what I have done. Basically, auto migrations rely on the JSON files which are created by the room library, and this statement we have put to create the JSON files. So to keep track of whatever the changes were there in this in while migrating from lower version to the upper version. So basically, this block of code, what it does, this creates a JSON file for all the structure of the database schema. Now here go to pro project structure, project, and here you can find here schemas folder is now generated. It wasn't there. I have just rebuilt the project and it appeared there because of this code block of code we have entered. So in this, if you expanded this folder, you will see one.json. This one is the version number which we have currently, and if you just double click on this one, you will be able to see all of the database schema here as a JSON file. So here is the fields, the number of fields which we have. First one is a name, that is of text type. Second one is a price. Third one is a date, and fourth one is a description. Okay, description also came because we have added that earlier. So we can just remove that description because we will be adding that in the second version. So Let's go to the product, just manage the description and build the project again. Okay, now rebuild the project, and we have eliminated this description field from here, so it doesn't no longer appears here. We have just date and we have just id here. So whatever the schema we have defined, it will be automatically generated by the room as a JSON file here, and we just have to change the version number, and the room database will automatically create a separate version file for same version file, that is 2.json. If we are migrating to version number 2, it will automatically generate the same equivalent file for the second version also, and it will compare both the files, and then it will auto migrate from old existing schema to the new one by comparing the differences. Well, so we'll again go to, we'll close this one, and we'll again add the description column here. That we have to add the description column here, and here we'll go to in product database, and we'll increase the version by 1, that is 2. Okay, and now we have to provide the migration. Well, to provide the migration, we have to provide that in this database annotation. So in this, there is entity, there is version, and then you can type auto migrations here, it will auto populate. So this is the list of auto migrations we are able to provide room, and this is the array. So we can provide the migration here, and for that we can use the existing one as a auto migration, and inside this one we have to provide from which version and to which version we have to provide the migration. So this is the first version we will be dealing with earlier, and now we are going to the version 2. That's why we have to provide the version from as a 1 and 2 as a 2. So this is about auto migration. It room will take care of this by itself. Now we just have to do one more thing here. Go to product, and we have to add a column info here, because whatever the value we want room to assign to the existing records, so that value we have to enter here. It called as default value, and let's say we'll say that n/a not available, description product description is not available, and that's it. That is the only thing we need to do for the auto migrations. And let's say, let's start rerun the application, and hopefully it will not crash, and will run fine with the auto migrations we have provided. Currently that, okay, he had no value passed for description. Okay, uh let's say we are not adding the records here. We no longer have to add the records, we just want to retrieve the records with products. Okay, yes, the our application has been run and it didn't crash. Now let's have a look into the logcat and see what the things are doing there. So this is the existing table, and this is the description new field we just have added in the every field. Description, this is the second product object, and this also have description as a na. Basically the room has added description new field, change the schema, it has migrated from old to the new one with the description field, and it has added the default value as na for the existing records. So this is about the auto migrations in room. So we'll now go to the manual migration. Well, but if you have the facility of auto migration, then why we need manual migration? This is a question that makes sense, because auto migrations cannot do all type of migrations. Like let's say we have added a new table in our database, that cannot be done with the auto migration. And let's say we have to do some different alterations. Let's say we have changed some properties of some fields, we have migrated from, well, we have changed the primary key, or much more cases to do. So all these things cannot be handled from the auto migrations. It has some limitations, but with the help of minor migrations, we can do any modification in our database. For that, we have to do some things that is not complex. I'll show you that. So let's say we have to add a new table in our database. I'll go to the here. I'll pick a new data class, and that will be, let's say we have to add employee table, data class employee, and let's give it a parameter. First one as name, which will be of string, that will be a name, and before that we will provide some id, that is the employee id, emp id we will write. It will be of integer type, and we'll annotate this with primary key. So the employee id will be unique for each employee, and we'll make this at auto generate equal to false, because we will be providing manually employee id to the every employee, and annotate this class with the entity of course. And yes, this table we have to add in our database. So what things we do typically, we just go to the product database of a database class, and we can just add here a new table, employee colon colon class. That's it. But it will work for the newer versions of devices where our application is going for the first time. But for it to work on the devices which are running the previous version of the database, we have to provide the manual migration here. So let's see, we have just added here, and now of course we'll increase the version by one, that is version 3. And here we cannot provide auto migration, we have to provide manual migration. For that, let's say we'll create a method here, function add emp employee table, and migrate two to 3. This name we are giving because in the second version it was not available, and in the version number 3 we are making it available. So, and so this is basically, this is a class we have to make, not a class where it should be, uh, it should be an anonymous class. So we'll declare it as object here, and it will extend from migration. And we have to provide this migration a constructor, and in the constructor we have to provide the start version and end version for that. So start version will be 2 and end version will be 3, because we are migrating from 2 to 3. And in the object, if we alt click here, so here it is asking to implement members, and that is one of the method migrate that we have to implement here in order to provide the SQL query for the migration. So here it gives us a database instance, and through this database instance we can directly execute some SQL query here. Let's see how. We can use the database dot exec execute SQL, and in the double quotes we can write the SQL query. So what we are doing, what we are doing as a difference from the previous version to the next version, basically we are adding a new table. So we have to write a create table query, create table, what is table name, employee, and of course it's columns. First column is id, emp id, and second one is a name, emp id. It will be of integer type, int, not null primary key, and it is also primary key. Second one is a name, that is care, and it is also not null. This SQL query we have written. So this SQL query will be executed when it is this method this will be called, and where we have to enter this. So we have to enter this here in the room database builder. So let me arrange this. Yes. So we can also provide here dot add migrations. Sorry, my caps lock is on. Add migrations. In that we have to just declare this migration, add emp table migration migrate 2 to 3. We are getting the suggestion here, and yes, we are ready for the migration. That is the only thing we have to do, not a rocket science behind that. And just it will be auto migrated, sorry, it will be manually migrated. We have already provided the migrations here. Let's see if we have some compile errors here. Okay, we would also like to check here for the uh, employee list, and we'll add some column here, db instance dot. Okay, in the DAO we'll create one method to add employee, and I have written these two methods: upsert employee, it will add and update the employees, and get employees. So that's it we have to do. And in the main activity we will add our two employee records. So here I have added the three employee records here, and as soon as the application starts, these employee records will be added, and we should be able to see the employees list here with those records. So let's try running our application with our provided manual migration, and hopefully it should not crash and run fine. Okay, it has survived and it is running fine. So let's have a look at the logcat, and yes, we are able to see both the list, product list and employee list with all of the. Okay, sorry, my mistake. Here it is showing that product list is actually we want to call employee get employees, and let me rerun the project. And yes, we are able to see here employee list. Here is employee 1 Nikhil, second one is Rajat, third one is Rohit. Now we are able to see both the product list and the employee list. So this is the employee list. This is an example of a manual migration. How to do manual migration in room database. You can do any type of complex operation in the uh, manual migration, as long as you have the command over SQL, because it is just a game of SQL. So thus I have explained both of the migrations, auto migrations and manual migrations. Well, the manual migration is almost the same in every case, but the auto migration has some different cache, like there is a different method to do the auto migrations as well. So let me show you that as well. So we have just added this employee table, but let's say we have to we given an update to the application and we no longer need this new table, then we are also altering a database schema, then we also have to provide the migrations in order to our application not to crash. So let's see how to do that. Well, I am in the product database class. Here in the component object I am writing, you can write out of that as well, no issues with that. And here we have to define some class. We can name it as same like this one. We can name it as anything. In place of add, we'll place a delete. So we'll delete here employee table with the, and we'll take the help of auto migration to migrate from the schema which has employee to the new schema which don't has employee table. And this will be extended from auto migration specification. We don't have to provide the implementation for that. We just have to annotate this with delete column, sorry, delete table. We also have the facility to delete the column as well. We can delete the column also with the help of auto migrations. So in this case, we have delete table, and in this it demands the table name. Table name here is employee. Okay. And where do we have to put this one? So we have to put this one same as like we have provided the auto migration. Here we'll create another auto migration here, and we'll provide from version number, this is a 3, so we have to provide, I guess, 4. 2 to 3 is done, so 3 to 4, yes, we have to change the version to the 4. And in this auto migration we will provide 3 to 4, and here we'll also provide a spec that should be a class which we have just defined here with the help of auto migration. We'll just okay, we can import that. So no issues with that. It is showing like this because we have added that inside the component object block. So even if we put it outside of this one, there will be no issues. Colon class, yes, and that's the only thing we have to do for the auto migration, and the table will be deleted. It will be automatically migrated. So as we no longer need this employee table, we'll just comment out the references here, and we will uh, basically we can delete this employee, delete anyway, because I know I will be removing that from this place as well, from the database class, and I think we are good to go. Oh, sorry, in the product now there are still usage for this, so we'll remove this. That's why the error was coming. And let's try rebuilding the project. Yes, it built successfully, and now we'll try running our application. And yes, the application survived. And again, check the logcat. Yes, we are still able to see the product list with the whatever the data we are same as that. And so how can you check that your table is actually deleted? You can also go to the app inspection here to check the database schema for your application. And also, okay, there is an issue I guess here. So we what we can do, we can again go to the project, and we can check the schema for the version 4. So we'll double click on this one, and we just have table name one product here, one is product, and we don't have another table name here. If you go to version number 3, we are able to see another table also. First one is a product, and another table is an employee, which is now not present in the version number 4 because we have deleted the table with the help of auto migration. So that's about room migrations, how to do auto migrations and manual migrations. I think I have tried my best to explain. If you still have doubts, then you can comment below in the comment section, and I will try my best to answer those. If you like this video, then please like, subscribe to this channel to stay updated with this such Android related tutorials. And if you like something, then let me know in the comments. If you didn't like something, then let me know that as well, so that I can improve on my content. We'll meet in the next tutorial with some another good trending Android topic. Till then, goodbye. Happy coding.